Sometimes human ambition defies all odds, leading to structures built in places that seem utterly impossible. From buildings perched on cliffs to communities built on tiny peninsulas, today we're counting down 15 things built in and emergency exits. Maintenance of such properties is incredibly challenging. With limited access to repair crews, any damage to plumbing, electricity, or structural integrity can go unresolved for months or years. In most cases, though, life in a nail house is an act of endurance. The physical location, lack of essential services, and social stigma can be overwhelming. Some residents adapt by running small businesses from their homes, using the increased visibility brought by their unusable locations to attract customers. Others live in quiet defiance, refusing to be displaced regardless of the hardships. Carry on. Number 14. Skellig Michael. Skellig Michael, also known as Great Skellig, is located 7.2 miles in County Kerry in Ireland. Now, this island, rising steeply from the ocean, reaches a height of 714 at its summit. Now, the remote location here makes it one of the most extraordinary places in the world to have ever hosted human life, particularly when one considers the Gaelic monastery established there between the 6th and 8th centuries. Built by monks seeking solitude and connection with the divine, this monastery was placed on a barren, nearly vertical piece of rock. In a setting so extreme, it challenges your imagination. The landscape is not only steep, it's often inhospitable, with winds that can reach hurricane force and waves that crash relentlessly. The island's lack of arable land makes farming practically impossible, and its isolation from the mainland adds a layer of danger and difficulty that no other locations on Earth can match. The highest point here, the spit, reaches 714 feet above sea level, and the monastery itself is about 550 to 600 feet up. The steps carved into the rock centuries ago are narrow, treacherous, and exposed, making travel difficult even for modern visitors. The journey here requires ascending steep flights of stone steps that are prone to weathering. Some of the landings consisting of only small platforms hewn from the stone. Constructing this monastery in such a forbidding piece of land required a level of resourcefulness that few could manage today, let alone in the 6th century. Monks had little choice but to use the island's natural resources, rock, stone, and what little earth they could cultivate. The monastery is composed of dry stone huts known as beehive huts, with roofs formed by layering stones in a conical shape to allow water to run off. Now, these huts were built on terraces cut into the rock to create level areas on which to work. The stonework is still intact, with the huts forming part of a settlement that would have housed no more than 12 monks and an abbot at any one time. Their diet likely consisted of fish, birds, and eggs, as there was very little land available for growing crops. The harsh environment here would have made everyday life a constant struggle for survival, with the cold, the wind, and limited resources contributing to a daily challenge. However, the monastery did remain a place of pilgrimage for centuries after it was abandoned as a permanent settlement. Number 13. Nail houses. Nail houses. They're structures that are standing in the middle of construction zones, highways, or shopping malls in China, stubbornly resisting demolition despite immense pressure from developers and governments. The term nail house refers to the homeowner. prospector camp into a populated center driven by one factor: gold. Building a settlement at such a high altitude isn't a simple task either.